Wow, it's coming up to 13 weeks tomorrow, which is the longest time that I can remember that I've stuck to eating a certain way without it being restricted, if you get my drift. I need to be proud of that. You know, I had a comment on one of the videos that we uploaded, I think it was last night, and I read the comment today in the gym during my sets, and I'm not going to lie, it did get to me a little bit, you know, and you kind of think, oh, you know, am I falling back again? And I spoke to my husband about it afterwards, actually, and he said to me, like, I know you more than anyone, and I can categorically say to you now, yes, you are training, and you're training too hard. You know that. You're training harder than the average Joe, which is true, and I hold my hands up to it. He said, but you're also so much happier, and you are eating really well. And because you're eating really well, you're even more happier. You're taking the rest days, and you're enjoying time with the family still. You're not knackered. You're just getting on with it. And yesterday I had the best blood readings that I have had in 10 years. You know, my estrogen levels were over 1,000 apparently. I don't know whether or not that's too high. I'm not really clued up on that. So, I don't, you know, she said to me, or the consultant said to me, that they were, you know, in the normal ranges. So I'm assuming that there's no issue there. But then again, she did say to me at the end that I had educated her on lots of different things, especially to do with hypothalamic amenorrhea. But anyway, that was in yesterday's video. So today is just reevaluating what I'm doing to myself. And I do fully understand and appreciate that I do have a compulsion to exercise, and I do feel happiest when I'm training. The thing is, I don't use exercise to purge my food now, which is something that I have always done. Instead, I use my exercise time now to train with my husband, who is joining me quite often recently and really enjoying it himself, and to get strong, to get really strong. I mean, I'm squatting 90 kilograms this morning. I'm taking more rest time, and I'm being really sensible. And you know what, even today, even this was before I got the comment come through, actually, when I was on my fifth working set on my squats, I could feel my hamstring on my right thigh underneath it, just not pain, but it almost felt like it was contracted constantly, and I could really, I started to worry. So when I finished my working set of my squats, the dreaded walking lunges come through, and I started the walking lunges, and as soon as I put my right foot out and took the step, I knew that something wasn't quite right. So instead of finishing holding the weight that I was, I noticed that things weren't right. I stopped. I reduced the weight significantly to see if that helped, and it did. But even towards the end, I still felt it, so I just stopped. And I did a completely different exercise, and that didn't aggravate it at all. I come home, I ate, refueled, did the house, and then I iced my leg, and actually, touch wood, it feels okay. Now go back to when I was training before, and I'm talking only December time. I would go to that gym with my tracker on my arm, and I would have to burn a set amount of calories. I would have to lift, squat, walk, lunge in a certain way. I mean, for example, in between my squat sets, my working squat sets, where I was doing 15, 20 reps with high weight as well, it was ridiculous. I was absolutely sodded. In between those sets, when you should be resting, I weren't resting. I was doing kettlebell swings with 20 kg in the middle of them. I mean, it was just constantly keeping yourself to the point where you're just dreading it. And I was walk lunging more weight than what I do now and dreading it. And I remember having a bit of a niggle in my left hamstring, which is where I've previously injured from too much running last year. And I just ignored it and carried on. And I was praying after every step, please don't go, please don't go. Please just let me finish the set. Please just let me finish it. So I know, even though, yes, I am quite addicted to exercise, really. And I've been honest about that the whole way. I have. And it's not the nicest addiction, but instead of dreading it and having to do a set amount, I'm just enjoying it now. Like, I couldn't finish my last few sets today because I just couldn't be arsed. And instead of restricting my food when I got in fact, I think I ate more. I mean, I know it must look like I'm self-sabotaging by doing the training, because the whole point of this journey is to get my period back. But it wasn't just to get my period back. It was to reevaluate in my head what was important to me and to be happy again. Because I wasn't happy. You know, I was eating nothing really, and I was training 3-4 times a day for a lot longer and a lot more intense than what I am now, which is tough to think because the intensity of my workouts now is good, is solid, but it's just a completely different way of training. I don't fret if I can't do a move because I'm too tired or because I feel like an injury's coming on. I just move past it and get over it. And I know that I should be resting completely because my period would come back a darn sight sooner. You know that. Everybody who's doing this journey, don't try and look for an excuse to exercise. And don't use me as that excuse, because everybody's different. And if you're dreading getting up to go to the gym, and the only reason you're doing that is to manipulate the shape of your body, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But if you're doing it because it just makes you happy and you really like it, and you're going to eat regardless, then I can't see the issue with that. I mean, the video I put up yesterday was a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I'll admit I was running twice a week, and I had like a set routine of what I needed to do. And as soon as I started thinking that way, I said in the video, I need to nip this in the bud now. And I did. I actually haven't ran twice in the same week since. I did one run last week, which was, you know, not on a weight training day either. It was just a separate Saturday morning run. Just stuck on a podcast and really like slow pace, just had a trot basically, which was nice because, you know, again, going back to it, I would never feel like a trot would be enough to allow me to have the set foods that I wanted, especially over a weekend. You know what I mean? It's like your weekends are like the time where you will have a glass of wine, or you will overindulge in something that you feel is a little bit naughty or something else. But, you know, my runs are completely different now. Even, you know, how my weight training sessions are different. My running is different. You know, I don't dread them. I don't get out and think, God, I've got to do a set amount of mileage in a set period of time. I just do a run, enjoy my run, and then have a rest day. I suppose if I could kick the running in the arse and not do it at all, maybe that would be my next sort of thing that I could, you know, because I am doing a few sprints in the week. only for a few minutes here and there. It's not anything major, but there is a running element to that, and I think it's the duration, like the running duration, which can get people into trouble. I certainly know that what I said to my husband today, actually, just to kind of sidetrack, sorry, I would never have got myself into this position, training the way that I was, if I had have eaten enough to cover it. Because it's not the chronic stress on the body that stops the hypothalamus telling your reproduction area that you need to stop and I need to conserve this energy. It's because there is not enough energy. If you're eating, say, 3,000 calories a day and you're training twice a day, then you should still get a period. Yes, there are many athletes that lose their period after extensively training and still eating for long durations of time. So if you're somebody that's been doing this extensive training for years and years and years, and you've always eaten well, maybe you just went through that little bit of time where you didn't eat so well, and that's when you lost it. And it quickly conserves that energy that it would give your organs to reproduce and to give you a period, and it puts that energy somewhere else because it needs to fuel for the workout that it's assuming you're going to do the following day. She's not really a friend, sorry, I thought I had a bug in there. She's not really a friend. In fact, she's probably one of the worst people that I could be around during this process. She's a girl that I knew years ago, and she was never big, not by any stretch of the mind, but she was in a bigger body than what she is now. And she, decided that, her and her husband didn't want to have a baby or whatnot, and that she would concentrate solely on her physique. And she was somebody prior to this that would train hard and only eat about 800 to 1,000 calories a day, and then binge on like pasta and stuff in the evenings, and crisps. Crisps was her number one Achilles heel. Now, to see her now, wow. I mean, she's so tiny. She really is tiny. It's not the sort of physique that I personally would want myself. She's like a size 4 to 6, and she is ripped to shit the entire way through. Ab 6-pack, 8-pack, in fact. Veins everywhere. She's very, very ripped. And even then, she's not lost her period. She's got a 10-11% body fat, which is severely low. And yet she still has her period because, believe it or not, she eats really well. Like the last time I spoke to her, I won't name any names, but the last time I had any communication with her, she was still experiencing monthly periods. She still had a high libido. She was still happy. She had her own reservations about her own body image, dysmorphia. But at the same time, she said that the only time she's ever counted calories was when she was going in for a boob job. And the personal trainer that she'd hired to get her through the recovery stages of that asked her to note down what calories that she was consuming so that they could evaluate it for when she was in recovery. And she said that she roughly estimated between 2.3 and 2.5 a day. And that was, some days she might have a few snacks in the afternoon of nuts and stuff. A handful of nuts can add 150 calories to your diet, just like that. So when she told me that, I was like, now I know why you're having your period still, even though you're training twice a day, 6 days a week, and you are severely, in my opinion, at a really low body fat percentage. She's done it properly. And it kills me to say that, because I wouldn't want to be 10-11% body fat, and I wouldn't want to look like that person, because for me, I don't think that that's attractive, but each to their own. And I did wonder, I wonder if she's really kind of eating properly. Well, that said it. And I've been out for dinner with her. The girl can eat. Like, she puts it away. She has alcohol on the weekend. She is addicted to Haribo type sweets. And come Saturday, Sunday, she will overindulge in her sweets, and she will eat well. And she trains like a monster. You know, she does. She trains hard, but she also really eats. Like, she'd finish at her third space gym and she would have like 3 poached eggs, 2 slices of toast, rashers of bacon, followed by some 500 calorie protein shake that they've made for her with like peanut butter and stuff in. You know, honestly, when she used to tell me the stuff, I used to sit there and think, I train twice a day. Actually, I train 3 times a day and I eat barely 15 to 1600 calories. How the fuck am I not 11% body fat? Well, there's your answer. I don't know all the answers, guys, and I'm not saying you've got to follow in my journey and do the same as me, but I'm hoping that I'm still inspiring people, even with my training that I'm doing and my compulsion to train. It is a compulsion to train. I get my most happiness when I am actively training and I'm active. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. If you take the average Joe that is cycling, as in period cycling, not actually getting on a bike and going cycling around the corner, but if you've got an average woman who is at my body fat percentage and my weight and my height and my build and has that mentality the way that I have and eats the way that I do, but yet trains 5-6 days a week with the rest days, would you turn around and say you're an exercise addict? And in my opinion, an exercise addict more so would train through an injury, would be severely unhappy and dread their workouts and constantly have muscle fatigue. All right, I'll hold my hands up. I'm aching. I'm aching from my chest, which was 2 days ago. You know, I've got DOMS quite a lot because I'm heavy weight training and I expect to have that, but I'm talking about not even being able to walk up the stairs without feeling so heavy and so lethargic that you just want to turn back and sit down. Overtraining syndrome, if there is such thing, is what's factoring into it. I'm kind of, you know, rambling off here and I'm sorry for getting emotional with it. I just wanted to open up a little bit more into why I feel that it's okay for me at the moment to be exercising and why I don't feel like I'm falling back into old habits. I think the day that I wake up and I don't feel like training and I drag myself there and I have a bad workout, which I dread every second of, and it puts me in a bad mood and I snap at my family and I don't eat what I should be eating, is the day I will say, yeah, I've gone full blown into old habits. But for now, I'm okay. I had some good results yesterday. I've got estrogen flowing through the body, which is obviously why I'm happy. I've got the best reading that I've ever had on my LH ever. She didn't give me the FSH, but she told me it was normal, so I can't, you know, refer to the numbers on that. But I don't know. I think I'm all right. And if I'm wrong, well, only time will tell. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. If you like this video, then please leave me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed and you want to carry on listening to my journey, then please subscribe or feel free to message me. A couple of people have messaged me privately and, you know, bless them, they've gone through their own journeys and their own experiences. And actually, the most beautiful people, and it's just so overwhelming, the support that everyone's given. I can only thank you guys and keep listening.
You and I, we're always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time. Would you break up just because I told you?